This woman was charged with soliciting sex for World Series tickets. She was acquitted, but her arrest has reignited the debate about whether prostitution should be legalized. We've brought together one of your favorite panel of experts to debate that very question, and we're getting it all started right now on It's Your Call. Hi there, everyone. It's great to have you with us. The debate here in the studio has already started to heat up, as it usually does when this group gets together. I'm Lynn Doyle, joined today by Tariq El-Shabazz and Scott Sigmund, both who are former assistant district attorneys in Philadelphia. Also with me is Charles Peruto Jr. and Louis Basico, two prominent defense attorneys in the Philadelphia region. We're talking about prostitution because of a local case that catapulted the debate back into the news. You may remember that Susan Finkelstein, a West Philadelphia resident and longtime Phillies fan, says she was desperate to get to see her favorite team play in the World Series. So desperate that she went to great lengths to get tickets. Cops say she placed an ad on Craigslist, essentially offering to trade sex for tickets. Now, she says it was intended to get attention. They busted her. She went to court. A jury found her not guilty of actual prostitution, but guilty of attempting to commit it, whatever that means. And now people on both sides of this issue are debating whether this case warranted the time and resources that went into it. So now that you're caught up, let's get into it. Tariq, was it worth the prosecution's time?
Well, it's worth the prosecution's time to prosecute the case. Was it worth the prosecution's time to have a jury trial? I don't think so. But apparently there was things that could not be worked out between the defense and the prosecution, and this was the only way to resolve it.
Okay, so Scott, why would prosecutors in any county, not to pick on Bucks County, but any county, pursue a case like this? What message is it sending to its constituency?
Well, Lynn, really in modern times, more and more people are using these Facebooks and Craigslist and MySpace to actually engage in illegal activity. So prosecutors out there need to take whatever case it may be. This was illegal conduct. So they take a case like this and they prosecute her to really send the message out there that people cannot use these internet websites for illegal activity.
Okay, right now I heard two very thick sighs from this side of the table saying, come on. Why?
Well, go ahead. Lynn, Mary and Jimmy are 25. They're adults. Mary, do you want to sleep with Jimmy? I do. Jimmy, do you want to sleep with Mary? I do. Not a crime, not illegal. Now what happens? You introduce a couple of bucks and it's a crime. It's comical. It's anachronistic.
Is that all you got?
It's yesterday's. it's yesterday's news. Move on.
Okay, we're going to move on.
Mary's little sister for this. When you're done.
Move on to Chuck. I mean, in a case like this, do you think it was important to send a message that it is illegal behavior? You know what? I don't like to go 55, but the speed limit's 55. If I go 65, I've broken the law.
Well,
how is it different?
In a major metropolitan area like Philadelphia, no, it's not important because we have bigger headaches. But in Bucks County, which is relatively crime-free, to their credit, they're going to go after a case like this because she's putting herself out there. She's advertising it. And, you know, if she worked out some sort of a plea deal, it's one thing, but she took it to trial, and now you got to pay the piper.
Okay, he says he put it out there. Let's talk about the Craigslist ad, because we actually had what it said. And she said, blonde, desperate for World Series tickets. All right, nothing illegal about that so far, right?
No. One can infer, but nothing illegal so far.
Okay. Diehard Phillies fan will do just about anything to get tickets. Anything illegal there?
We're climbing the ladder of illegality, but we can continue. Okay,
and then she says, I'm creative, maybe we can help each other.
Okay.
Still seeing something illegal?
We're closer to the top now, but there was another step that she did. And the other step is that she sent photographs.
But after she was contacted by the undercover police. I'm just talking about the ad specifically right now. If what was on Craigslist warranted the attention.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Yes, it did. One, because you're saying that you're desperate. Two is because you're saying that you were willing to do anything. And three, you're talking about that you can exchange particular things. And it gives the inference that there may be some solicitation. So it begs law enforcement, to be honest with you, to investigate it, in which they did.
Okay, so if she says she's creative, Lou, maybe she means that she's a graphic artist and that she might be able to barter some services for some World Series tickets.
Look, that's clearly a false.
All right, that was really a poor choice of words. some artwork. Maybe she could barter some artwork.
That's clearly a potential interpretation of what it is that she meant. But the reality is, let's get past that. Even if she meant something more than that, it's during the World Series. This is 2010. Why do we feel the need that we have to stick 7 undercover officers in a bar to meet her? Look at her. What did you think she was going to do?
Okay, but wait a second, Scott. The point is, it was during the World Series, which is why it warranted so much attention, according to the police and the state's attorneys, because so many people were trying to get tickets on the black market, and they were resorting to robbery or some other kind of violent
because
scam.
of the value of the tickets. These weren't, you know, $15 standing room tickets. The value of these tickets were a commodity. And exactly what her behavior was, she was actually engaging in using women as a commodity, if you will, by selling her body, if you will, for these tickets, very expensive tickets. But look, the police were investigating what was going on here. This could have been a robbery. This could have been a setup. But more importantly, let's look at a bigger picture. What do people use these type of sites for? Unfortunately, child predators. This can expand into such criminality and really put some of the most innocent people at risk.
That's not what they were after. And to be honest with you, if you take a poll, especially in these times where economic hard times and budgets are strapped, come on. If you're going after a real crime and it's hitting you in the face, that's one thing. But the resources that they put into this case is disgraceful. Do you know that this cost Bucks County over $100,000 to prosecute? And that's crazy.
Remember the value of the tickets in this case. So, I mean, there's definitely a potential for robbery or theft.
Robbery in a family restaurant from a topless woman? Come on.
Oh, let's get
Not
past
in this world.
Let's get past that. Chuck said something that is really interesting to me. It's interesting to me because a crime is a crime at the end of the day. What we're looking at is what can potentially come from this particular type of crime. When we talk about Craigslist, we talk about the advertisement, we talk about the pictures, we talk about the woman going to that particular location. Does anyone want them to spend $100,000? I don't think so. But does people want that particular type of behavior around them, around their children? Someone free to do that? I don't think so either. That's why it's still in the books.
That's why it should be legal.
And it is
keep
in the
it
books.
somewhere
But
else.
knowing what we know now, knowing that we spent all of this money to get this result, have we deterred anyone from doing this? If the judge gives this woman probation, if he gives her probation, who have we deterred?
Don't you think it might deter someone from putting a questionable ad on Craigslist? Susan told me personally that she was trying to get attention to her ad, which obviously she did, and then some. May it not deter someone from doing that kind of thing?
I don't think it will deter anyone. First of all, nobody expects
anyone that's
to get caught.
predisposed to be a prostitute.
It won't deter
No, it's going to deter
anyone.
people. Come on, Chuck. It's going to deter people from doing this kind of behavior.
She said a couple of times that it was a joke. I can assure you that no housewife or woman or working woman or mother of children or anybody that respects themselves is going to use that type of joke again on Craigslist. I can assure you that. Secondly, if it was a joke, what the hell did it become when you sent topless pictures? What did it become at that point?
All right, yeah. Now I'm glad that you brought that up because, as I said before, we were talking about specifically the ad and why that attracted attention. It took it to the next level because when the undercover police responded to the ad, then she admittedly sent 3 topless photos. And I asked her why she chose to do that. And again, she said, well, I just thought maybe I would, impress the person who had the tickets and that maybe he might give them to me.
It's a little more than that. It's a little more than that, and here's why. Because, you have to come back to the real world of the give and take. These aren't police officers on the other side saying, gee, darling, what is all this about? It's like, why don't you show me some pictures? Why don't you up the ante to our conversation? They're dragging and pulling her into an area where they want to arrive at.
Are you saying she was entrapped? Is that what you're saying?
There have been some people quoted as saying that they thought there was entrapment.
She had every intention to do that.
No one pulled the bra off, took the blouse off, or sent any pictures.
I'm not saying she's entrapped, Tariq. What I'm saying is the dynamic of the World Series, get me a ticket, and law enforcement pulling her towards where they want this case to go. That is a sex crime. It's all involved in the mix.
Except this, Lou. At the end of the day, you and I would even say, Scott, I don't know about Chucky, but all of us know women that will not go to that level, even being pulled. If we poll the women in the studio or the women in the actual center, at Comcast and ask them, if you're being pulled, are you going to take off your shirt and take off your bra and send naked pictures
Several
to somebody
pictures.
who you don't
Several
even
pictures.
know? And